Thank you, Nat. Thank you for being on recording. We always tend to forget. So let me take this off. Can you believe it's already August? Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yes.
It's amazing, right? So I'm super excited. Got a lot to offer today. So let's get started. You know how we do it here at KW South Bay. Who wants to volunteer? Who has a very concise, deep voice? I'm thinking of two people. I see two people in here.
Steve Gottlieb.
Steve, you mean the old guys?
Old guys rule.
I have nothing to do with old guys. It's just that concise and deep voice. So Steve.
All right, I'll do the mission, you can do our belief. Okay.
right.
All right, our mission is to provide agents with a place where they will be empowered, trained, and motivated to experience growth, wealth, and a legacy that allows them to live their best life possible.
Woo-hoo, and our belief, when the values of your company align with your own beliefs, you know you found your professional home.
Yeah, for our vision. Now it's my turn.
Simon, go, then we're gonna take a vote.
And how about
The voice of KW South.
Our vision is to achieve amazing professionals and personal development so that KW South Bay remains the agency of choice.
That's right. I know.
Now, that's the way we function here. We all win. So let's see, you win, and Mr. Bob of Walaka wins. Simon Griffin wins. So awesome. Let's continue. Next slide, please. All right. Awesome lasagna, like always.
The best food in the home warranty industry.
I think next time I have to bring two hands up, because there's only one left. So I'll bring more next time. But I just wanted to start by saying I'm so grateful to be a part of this family, and I feel very blessed to have such a crowded room. It's great to see people back and out. And I wanted to remind everyone about our toolbox. I know it's really simple, but we do have a toolbox at orhp.com. When you click on agent, it gives you all kinds of free marketing materials. But in addition to that, it also notifies you every time we have service for your homeowners. So if we spent $900 on plumbing, you get a nice little email letting us know what we did and how much we spent. And that's a great warm call to pick up the phone and say, hey, I heard you had a plumbing issue. You know, how'd that go? And they're like, wow, how'd you know that? That's my job. I'm your realtor, right? It also gives you a really nice pre-made happy anniversary card. So at a year, you get this really nice happy anniversary card directed right towards your homeowners. So all you have to do is backspace the FW and then say, hey, happy anniversary. Or again, pick up the phone and call. They're like, it's not an anniversary you're on. Yes, it is. You bought your house a year ago. So that's just a couple ways that it can help you stay in touch with your homeowners. I didn't want to forget that we do have these really nice first responder and military gift cards to give to any of your homeowners. And so if they need service, instead of them coming out of pocket $75, you can give them one of these. When you close your transaction, if you just shoot me a quick text or email with their address and name, I'll even handwrite them a note, send this to them, thanking them for their service and congratulating them on their new home. You may not always see me, but I literally live right down the street. Whatever you need, just give me a call. There's not much I can't fix. Things are taking a little bit longer now because of parts and labor shortages and things like that. But I do have a dedicated team through homeowners. So if something goes wrong, please don't call the 1-800 number. Please just call me and let me fix it. And I'm here to help. So thank you.
All right, thank you.
Let her be your middleman or middlewoman.
Think how you get it. Nope.
Also, yeah, no rush. Also, I wanted to introduce a guest, Carla. If you can raise your hand, Carla. Everyone say hi.
Hi, Carl.
She's here visiting and checking out our TV, so welcome.
So be on your best behavior.
Yeah. You good. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Thank you so much, Missy, for bringing us a phenomenal lasagna. All right, so congratulations to the new kids in the block, Bobby. I don't even know how to pronounce this thing. Can anyone help me? Ronette Carr. And then we have Chris. Where's Chris? Chris, my man, is here. So we need to bump up those numbers. All right. We need your help. Okay, go down in your pockets here, folks. All right, next slide, please. All right, where's Ellie? Oh, congratulations. Happy. Woo-hoo. You did it.
Thank you.
That's not it.
We should have put a dog bone in there too for Kiki. I feel like Kiki was there for every step of the way,
I think you'll work with me all the time.
right? I mean.
Congratulations.
It was a photo on my mom's here.
Look at that.
You know, white shirt, black jeans, okay.
Wait, every morning. What are you wearing?
I know.
Okay. The only thing she beats me is the cool glasses she has. She has purple glasses. I unfortunately have those subscription glasses, so. Right there. All right, so congratulations. That's awesome. Next slide.
Thank you.
Next slide. Robin's in the house. Awesome. How does it feel to cap?
Huh?
How does it feel?
Oh,
to
that's
cap?
great. It's second year.
Consistency.
Awesome.
Congratulations. Last but not least is Bree Hoffman here. I don't see her. Next slide, please. Oh, okay, that's your front end to Fernando Diaz. Just navigate through that. So, Fernando, come up. Home Bridge, giving us a mortgage update, guys.
Getting back into the swing of things, guys.
Good news or bad news today? Should we get to the bad?
Well, let's hear it, the good and the bad, so.
And the ugly.
Our CPI report got a D today, right, of an F, we've been getting Fs, so it's improvement. Okay, that means inflation seems to be tearing down a bit for now. Jobs report came out too, which was actually way higher than expected, so hopefully these are some good signs, but. You know, consistency will tell if there's a new trend going forward, so that I will tell you, but. What I will also tell you is what are your clients thinking? So on Monday, Fannie Mae's consumer confidence report came out and it ain't good. So they're basically going out there polling your buyers and sellers all around the nation, thousands and thousands of them. And I'm just gonna go, just notes real quick here. Consumer confidence in the housing market dropped the lowest level since 2011, so that's not good, right? Just 17% of those surveyed in July said now is a good time to buy. Okay, so negative, right, whatever. Far fewer consumers are now thinking home prices will rise. Okay. Fannie Mae's home purchase sentiment index consists of 6 components: buying conditions, selling conditions, home prices, home price outlook, mortgage rate outlook, and job loss or concern. Unfavorable mortgage rates have been increasingly cited by consumers as the top reason behind why they're holding. Okay, so now, if you guys were here for the seminar I did, what was it, 2 weeks ago or so? When we were here, we talked about buy downs, guys. I don't know if Gary's not here right now, but he's got a client teetering, ready to just about get out. And all of a sudden the seller's like, hey, you know, I'll help out any way I can. We looked at a 2-1 buy down. It's a smaller loan in this particular case, but that customer could save $8,500 in change in a matter of 2 years if they do the buy down. So that is a huge game changer all of a sudden for that individual. We're doing, I think we're up to 3 of them total right now. Question? Go ahead.
Does the seller have to pay the down?
Yes, or the realtor, either one,
Okay,
but the buyer cannot contribute to it.
buyer can't.
That is what, yeah.
That's the
And you can do it with government loans, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac loans, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so that's one way to save it. The other thing too, guys, right now is, remember we talked about the lock and shop program? We have a handful of those people right now, but what's interesting is the majority of the people that I have under lock and shop are sellers. So sellers are basically going to you guys and saying, hey, I want to sell my house and I need a bigger house or whatever the reason may be. But they're concerned with where our mortgage rate's gonna be in the next 2, 3, 4 months, because they're getting educated by you guys. And they're learning that your house isn't gonna sell in 24 to 48 hours more than likely right now, like it was, 6 months ago, 4 months ago. So this may be a process and it may take 2 or 3 months or 4 months, to get it sold. Now, their next question is, okay, well, where are mortgage rates gonna be in the next 2 to 4 months? That could be a problem for me getting comfortable. All right, well, why don't you just lock your loan now with the lender and you're done. Now you have security. Okay, so all of a sudden, boom, which is an interesting trend. It's not really buyers. I mean, I do have a few of them. The majority of our lock and shop buyers right now are sellers that have listed their houses or are getting ready to list their house. So they're just nervous about what's going to happen to them down the road, or could happen to them. And here they're blocking. They're just locking in now as security. And by the way, if rates improve, they'll be able to float down, or if there's a better product at the time they find a house, we can move them over to that. So
How
they're
long-
not- they're
how
not
long is
committed.
your-
Most of the ones we're doing are 90 to 120 days.
Wow.
So it gives them plenty of time, and especially if they're a buyer, right now, that's another thing, that they can probably get an escrow in the next 24 hours if they really wanted to. Okay. We're also seeing massive seller concessions, guys, so be aggressive. And I think really, when you get into all this information that I'm giving you guys, you got to get the word out, because I guarantee you that all these people surveyed by Fannie Mae have no clue about any of this. No clue that this is an option, first-time home buyer programs, buy downs, lock and shop, all this, they have no clue. A lot of them, it's just right over their head. But you guys, if you guys are there in front of their face saying, hey, wait a minute, let's calm the waters and your concerns with these tools. All of a sudden, I guarantee you that 17% would rise, 5, 6, 10%. Okay, if they had this information in them. So as I always say, it is your job. Obviously, you guys are the ones out there in the front lines to get this information to them. Don't get complicated with them. Just have them call me or whatever, and we'll figure it out from there. So their concerns. So that's basically the fun stuff right there. Now we're going to get to the bad stuff. I'm kidding. No, Simon and I were talking. So we had a great time at the kayaking event, for those of you that went and enjoyed kayaking and boarding and all that stuff. And the weather is so good right now. I can literally go today, right after this meeting, if we could. But we're gonna do what is it called? That survey thing you guys use? What is it called? Survey Monkey. We're gonna do Survey Monkey. And we've already picked a couple days in early September. We are going to either put it in your hands. For those of you that want to, you can go, we'll either do a kayaking day again, because that was fun, or we're getting crazy now. We can do a pub crawl on bicycles.
That's not good.
And well, hey, once again, the majority will tell us what they want to do. And if we do the biking thing, you can bring your significant other, husband, wife, whatever, you can bring it all in, and we can all, that'll probably be done on a Saturday if we do that. The other one's typically done on a Friday. So
All he doesn't do the biker.
there you go. You can bring your electric bike, you can bring your scooter, your green machine, remember that when you were a kid? One with the 2 planks on top. You
Not
can
a big
bring
wheel.
the big wheel, bring the big wheel, bring your unicycle, whatever. And then the only thing that I will tell you is we will probably start, in Redondo, somewhere, either we meet at a bar. I told them we can meet at my house. I'm only about 3/4 of a mile from the Strand. Or we can meet at Bob's house. Better yet, he's right there.
Absolutely.
We can meet there.
Don't worry.
We're gonna go to like Manhattan Beach. I like going to the furthest place first, and as I get drunker, get closer to my house. I don't want going the other way, I'm going further away from my house. So we'll look at that. So anyway, those are 2 things that we'll do for fun. And in the meantime, keep it going, guys. That's it.
All right. Thanks for that.
You need any questions, sir? So the survey, be on the lookout for that survey. Like I said, 2 options that you can have. Please volunteer so that way we can get it decide what we want to do. If it's kayaking again or something totally different. So Colin is responsible to get the survey monkeys together. So just volunteer, please. All right. Good information for them. Thank you very, very much. All right, let's continue. All right, Benny is having his KW Mastermind Luxury Real Estate with Brady. That'll be Thursday, August 11th. That is from 2 to 3 p.m. Yep, tomorrow. He is the director of growth for Keller Williams Luxury. Phenomenal guy, super smart. Anything to add in?
That's such a really cool guy.
Really humble guy too.
So for those who don't know, he's one of the directors of KW Luxury. He's based out of Palm Springs, a bunch of us for the ALC retreat this past March at the weekend in Arab State. Just, I mean, a wealth of information and has some really great ideas for breaking into luxury, doing business in the luxury market. And so we are a luxury market here along the beach. It's available to all of us and he'll help you break into it. So I would highly recommend going to that event.
It'll be spearheaded by many tomorrow on Zoom, so be on the lookout for that link. Jump on our KW Hub, go to tomorrow's calendar, and wham, be able to listen to already. So, any questions? All right, let's get Chris Rivera up here. Next slide. All right, Chris.
2 lenders, wow.
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah, I just want to make it really quick, not an update, just to remind you guys about Friday's class. It is a down payment assistance training, so you guys get all of the good meat and potatoes of what the programs are like, so you can pitch it to your clients. We are having a seminar later in the month. It's gonna be August 27th, on a Saturday. The people who come will get the information, and we will also create a flyer for you so that you can get it out to your sphere. If you're talking, if you're going door knocking, whatever it might be, so that you guys can start drumming up first-time home buyers to get them into the seminar that's going to be here on Saturday or in 3 weeks, I think. We had one 2 months ago. I think we had about 30 people here. There were about 15 different families that were here. It was a great event. Everyone just brings one person. It looks like a great event. They don't know that it's 15 people bringing in or 20 people bringing in one. All they do is they see a room full of people and they think they're at a great event. We'll have a continental breakfast set up for them. It's going to be at 10:30 on the 27th. But it's a really good event for them to get some good information about how they can buy with little to no down. So again, training for you guys is this Friday. Make sure you're here, RSVP to me if you can. The seminar's on the 27th, 10:30, but your training is this Friday at 11 o'clock. I do need some RSVPs. I've got a lot so far, but I need to get a head count because I have to call Lisa later today to make sure that we've got enough salad and sandwiches coming from Lisa's Bon Appetit. So,
Will you have handouts for that to give? One can't make it, I can't.
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We're gonna have a sign-in sheet too, so when they sign in, if you're not here, you can at least tell me who they are so that I can kind of corral it. But they're gonna sign in and you'll have that referral name on it, so we'll know that it's yours. And so I'll make sure that they get, you know, the information and that you're getting credit for it and that you know that you're applying. Any other than that, Fernando did a good job of creating the market. I let him talk about the market rates. Anyway, hope to see you guys here on Friday and again on the seminar on Saturday, the 27th. See you guys.
Thank you so much, Chris. Make sure to send me a sandwich too, by the way, on the side.
Great.
All right, this Tuesday, August 16th at 10 a.m. We have our real estate live meeting, market stats and updates. Actually, today I'm going to be giving you some updates. So yeah, with Oscar, who's the Deputy Chief Economist for CAR. So please, look to see you on that. That again will be next Tuesday, August 16th at 10 a.m. All right. Any questions regarding? It's like a all team meeting on Tuesday. All right.
Now Zoom or is it here?
No, it's going to be on Zoom. Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah,
a live
Oscar.
meeting, so you figured live meetings in person.
Oh, Oscar is going to be live on Zoom. The beauty of Zoom, man.
It's not.
I can hear a lot. Lauren, I love you.
Live.
We hope we.
Well, let's put it this way. Let me ask Mandy if he's gonna come in person here. You know, because these Zooms are broadcast with 3 other market centers, right? But no, maybe he'll have them here. Let me find out and see. So, good question. All right, let's continue. All right, intro to escrow. Maria, come on, let's do it quick. You don't know powerhouse ladies, this is our escrow crew right here. So tell us about the intro to escrow 101.
Okay, well, everything that you didn't know about us or that you wanted to know, we will talk about on the 17th. It's gonna be from 11 to 12, the hour before the office meeting, so hopefully everyone will be here that comes to the meeting, because you can just come to the meeting right after. So, I really want to answer questions that you have. I will walk you through like kind of our timeline and how we operate and how we process the escrow from beginning to end. And the other very important thing I wanted to say, in addition to that, is I have my favorite, best, wonderful right hand here, Veronica Moran. She's my assistant. I'm so grateful. Her so much, and she's so helpful, and just come by if you haven't come by to introduce yourself, because I've been really happy with getting to meet some of you, talk to you, answer your questions and everything. Those of you who have come in and introduced yourself, but don't be shy, come and introduce yourself to us. And I also wanted to let everyone know that now using our Escrow South Bay for escrow, we are allowed to wire your commission to your bank account.
What?
So Lauren is the first one that got her commission wired around the week. Silly. So, yeah, so I mean, this
I still like to see my heart.
You go right to the bank and go to the teller and get that check, But it's a convenience for you, and as long as I get the okay from Natalie that your file's complete, then I can go ahead and wire your money, and that's a benefit to you as opposed to waiting for. Why don't we use Chris Settle as your files done? Yeah,
Absolutely.
there you go. See, it's a team effort. We're all trying to get you paid. That's the goal at the end of every transaction. So I'll be available for questions and everything on the 17th. If you want to come by anytime, we're always available for you, and we appreciate you and your support. So thank you.
I have a question with the wire. Once we give you our wiring instructions, do you need it every time or just that one?
No, just once. Okay, and then we'll keep.
And share it with everyone,
No.
so that we'll be able to.
It's
split it. Let's split it.
Confidential. Okay, all right, you guys, thank you.
And just to add, obviously we hired an assistant for Veronica, for Maria, for the obvious reasons, right? We're definitely growing as a company, and that's where we're going to come in. So thank you again very much for giving the opportunity to Escrow South Bay. So give it a shot, give it one opportunity. She will not disappoint you, and her doors are always open. And as she said, the class is going to be teaching is really an intro to ask those questions, because a lot of us know what escrow, but we don't know the ins and outs. And this is an opportunity to ask the escrow officer those few questions. So let's see you on that class next Wednesday, August 17th. All right, next slide. All right, pancakes. I know, Bob. The sugar may just go up just a tad.
A little bit.
Okay, I'll make sure I put one with no sugar for you.
Yeah. It's the carbs, brother.
Well, that too. That means we just walk a couple steps around the building, that's all. So.
I'll be helping out for this one.
Yeah.
Something is needed.
Just one thing. Yeah, team, so it's that time already, third quarter of the year. Last year when I thought of doing this, I said every quarter I will have pancakes for the agents. So Friday, August, was it 19th from 9:30 to 10:45 or 11 o'clock. Myself and the staff and Ed will be flipping pancakes. It's been a huge success, and I like the participation, and I gotta admit, the pancakes are awesome. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna do Bloody Marys at my office the same day and do it in the crowd.
Oh!
I'm
Bloody Marys over green again. I don't know. Last time we had a pretty decent size group, so yeah. We'll We'll have bacon as well, orange. I'm still contemplating of scrambled eggs. If we get a lot of people saying, hey, maybe, but that's more work for me, guys. It's hard enough to do the pancake. Now do some scrambled eggs, but I'll definitely let the office know. Any questions regarding pancakes?
Just so you know, eggs are 0 points on the Weight Watchers diet.
Is it really?
You can have as many eggs as you want.
That's right.
Really?
Well, that's something good to know, so. Awesome.
So eat eggs.
Eat. Well, it does, but it also, I remember this old 1970s documentary with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anyone remember?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and he was just pounding the eggs raw. And then Rocky too. right?
Rocky did it too.
Rocky did the same thing too. so. All right, love to see you Friday, August 19, 9:30 here at the office. I'll be in this area next to Chris's office with Mike Riddle. All right, next slide. All right, professional headshot. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's pretty hilarious.
We cannot promise that you'll look as good as that. But we'll do our best.
We have 2-time slots available. So which one stands out the most? All of them do.
Flaring,
Wow.
flaring,
The
yeah.
moon one is pretty hard to do.
This one?
What's this? Is that a guy or a girl?
Yes, absolutely.
Anyways, you don't want this, you want professional photography done. Wednesday, August 31st from 10 to 2. There's still some slots available. It's $45. Please make sure to RSVP if you want to update your folks. All right, next slide, please. All right, we have King of the Hill softball tournament Friday, September 23rd. Who wants to play softball? All right, thank you very much, Ed. Thank you very much. That's it. Alan usually is access. I'm already volunteering that. Well, if you're interested, or if you just want to be a support, we'd love to see you Friday, September 23rd at 10 a.m. It'll be up in the hill at the Ernie Park baseball field. So that's up in Rolling Hills Estates. We definitely have some sponsors. Justin Wills is one of our sponsors. He's also one of our affiliates here with the home warranty. Anything you'd like to add in?
I would like to, I just was reading this. So the winner at the end of the day gets awarded the PVPAR Kings of the Hill, as well as the highly coveted trophy, which is currently at Sotheby's.
Oh, we gotta get it.
So
Oh.
I'm bringing in some ringers. So I've got some connections with the MLB players.
There you go.
Might have Kershaw pitching. No, but seriously, if you can play some ball, we need you.
Can we bring our clients or just have to be agents?
No, talk to me after. We'll see. We'll see. No, but seriously,
I have some ringers.
I have some connections formally at Sotheby's, and I want that damn trophy. So let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's try to bring it up. That would be nice.
How many people?
I'm not sure how many teams. Holland is the one that's basically spearheading it for our office, so let me get some more information. But if anyone is interested in playing, it's great activity, it's a great time. You know, love to see that trophy come into us out
Make
there.
them
so.
wrong. That's it.
Yeah, bro.
Somebody has to.
Yeah, bro. It's all about having fun. We're
Very cool. All right, well, let's go ahead and continue. Next slide, please. All right, we have Ed talking to us a little bit of a SHIP. You know, we had the SHIP with James Shaw a couple
We
weeks
did.
back, so.
We did, and we have a book called Chip, as you guys know. We had James Shaw come a couple weeks here. Quick show of hands, who was at the James Shaw event? We have anybody here who was at that event? Steve, Arthur, you just looked at the deal.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that. Impressed by that. I just saw that. Right on. And back in, you were there too, right? So basically, so any takeaways from that you guys are currently implementing in your business? like just, it's been 2 weeks, I just wanted to kind of check back in. What still resonates with you 2 weeks later and, where we at?
Well, one of the things that he said, especially for those of us here in Southern California, is to focus on units, not volume.
Like, yeah.
We can very easily get caught up, on selling a $2 million house, which other agents, other parts of the country, that's, 7 transactions.
I love that. Anybody else want to add anything?
What I got from it was staying consistent, just like you did last year in 2021, staying and bringing the same consistency that you're gonna be fine. Don't think that you have to double up, staying consistent in today's market will definitely take you to the home stretch and the year out. That was one of the takeaways I picked up.
And I was gonna say, maybe, I think he said something like motivate, not motivate your clients, or just figure out what their motivation is for either buying or selling, and constantly ask questions, because people learn to ask questions.
Asking questions, telling stories, as opposed to you just talking. Ask questions, tell stories they relate to. There's another one I can't remember right now, but that's how people learn, not experiences, not by us just moving our lips for an hour straight, right? I love that. One thing I remember right along the same time when he was saying, all of us should wake up every morning and look at our database and say, what can I do to provide value to people today? You can't go wrong if you do that. And he says, sometimes I hear people having this great idea, and like, great, why don't you apply it to your database first before you just go out trying to if you're gonna go out finding, and I'm all for it, internet leads, door knocking, whatever you want to do, but before you go do that, have you taken care of the people in your database first, right? One other big concept I remember him talking about was that whenever there's a shift, we lose realtors as a community. We will probably not have the same number of realtors we have right now in 2 years. We'll probably drop some. Just every time there's a shift, we lose realtors, right? And so what that means is, from your perspective, how you can think about it is, if you can keep doing the same amount of volume now, keep doing the same amount of deals, you are going to gain market share because there's people dropping out. You guys get that? So if you're doing, say, you're doing it, you did 100 deals last year. If you do 100 deals this year, you just gained a whole lot of market share, even though it's not showing up in your bank account. Everybody following that, right? Because there's less realtors, so you're getting a bigger piece of the pie, which means 18 months, 2 years down the road, a year, 12 months down the road, however long this takes, when the market shifts back, and by the way, remember the average is about 18 months for a shift. When the market shifts back, if you gain some market share, you're just gonna crush it, because that's when your volume and your numbers will go up, right? So right now it's all about, fighting for more share, which meaning kind of treading water so much as opposed to growing for those who've been around a while. And then bouncing back with that, right? So any comments on that? Let me ask you this. I know we're gonna talk about the numbers in the market. What's everyone seeing boots on the ground in the market in the last couple of weeks since we last, talked about this? Lots of price reductions, right? Here's the question of the day. I get asked this every 5 minutes. Are prices going down? And I don't know the answer to that. I'm asking you guys. What do you guys think? Do you guys think prices are going down?
I went to brokers open yesterday, and pretty much open.
So prices of homes in the market now are going for less than they would have.
The list prices are reducing. We don't know if the closed prices are reducing.
Yeah, is that? Anybody want more? I love that comment. Anybody else want to comment on that?
Listed a little bit below market value, you're getting to see prices. Make it look attractive for everyone.
Yeah. I'll tell you, poking around myself with a couple things that here's what my experience, just in my keyhole view of the world, and see if you guys agree with this, is that it seems like everyone freaked out a little bit. Buyers freaked out a lot. Interest rates went up a lot, and now they've come back down a little bit. And I've seen a healthy amount of buyer activity, not what it was 6 months ago, but I would say a good amount of buyer activity. The motivated are seeing opportunity and they're like, oh, I like this. And I'm ready to pull the trigger. Is that kind of what you guys are seeing? Is that pretty accurate?
Absolutely.
And so, what does that mean? I would say, opportunities, but I think personally, that's a freaking wonderful time to buy myself. I don't know. If that's just my perspective. Who else is kind of agreeing with that? Because I kind of feel like for the first time, you're not fighting with 100 buyers, you're fighting with, there's still multiple offers, by the way, out there, right? But it's like 2 or 3 offers, like, oh my God, you kidding me? That's, I'll take my odds with that. It's a strap fight, not like I'm not walking into an ambush with like 100 offers, right? But meanwhile, so there's more opportunity in that perspective. Rates are definitely higher, but they're not crazy, astronomical. And with a little bit of luck, maybe a client will be able to refi in 18 months, 24 months. So there you go, right? That's how I would be presenting it to buyers. And I try to never like predict the market when I'm talking to buyers. I'm just like, hey, look, this is what I'm seeing. This is what the economists are saying. But here's what I know. There's an old adage, been around for a very long time, which holds true in any market, which is like, if you're going to move into a place, if you're going to live there for more than 5 years, you're almost always going to be better off buying than renting, right? So if that's you, like, who cares? I mean, not to say who cares. Of course, it's great to buy and in retrospect have looked back and been like, oh, well, I bought at the bottom of the market and I'm selling at the top. But if you're going to be there for 5 years, like, the clients who are like, oh, I'm waiting for the market to drop. Like I've been following Stephen Thomas and Tristan Almada and stuff, and it's just not, it doesn't appear to be that that's going to happen. This may be as good as it gets, and you don't even know it, for those people.
I agree. I think it's only gonna take off.
Right? Any other comments about that?
If it improves your quality of life for the buyer, pitch them that. That's your pitch, not the financial.
I love that. I don't know that we're there yet, but one script I used to use back in the day is, I would do this in like 2012, 13, 14, or even for a few years after that. I would show them, like, here's the worst recession we had in all of mankind. Started in 2007-ish, came back 2011-ish, depending on the exact market. So if you buy in 2007, oh yeah, if you needed to sell in 2009, oh man, you were hurting. But if you can just make your mortgage payments till 2011, like, you're done, like you made it. You're on the other side, and now you're no longer underwater. So like, again, if you're going to be in a property for 5 years, no one's got a crystal ball, and I would be willing to bet that over any 5-year period, especially, prices are more likely going up and down. So that's what I would try to show people, like the graph, and show them, look, this is people who bought in 2007. This is how long it took them to recover, and that's if you actually timed it at the worst possible time in all of mankind. Your odds are pretty good of avoiding a similar kind of situation. Yeah, Rita.
The other thing to mention here, your people is the rents are at an all-time high, guys, due to inflation and other factors in demand. So what I always do to people when they're questioning buying is ask them what the rent is, and then I times by 36 or 60, 3 or 5 years. And when they hear that number, they're shocked. Because they don't look, they're like, come on, I'm paying $2,500 a month or whatever, right? But when you say, okay, in 3 years or 5 years, back to the contract house, they flip out. They literally almost say, okay, what do I have to do? Right? So keep that in mind. Ask my question, what are you paying next? They go to your calculator on your phone, times 36 and then times 60. And all of a sudden they're going to just shit their pants.
We're not literally, but I love this.
Especially right here, people are paying 3, 4, 5 $5,000.
That's it. I love that script even better. That's one you can put in your pocket and use today. Right. So there you go. There's some ideas for you. I will turn it back over to you, Simon. There you go. That's what's happening in the market and how we go with some chicken stuff.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and continue. All right. So broker matrix. So if we can get the slides. All right, so let's talk a little bit of Hermosa Beach. So Hermosa Beach, the highest home price of a single family home, 6.3, sold on July 28th. Average home price of a single home is 4.2, Medium price point was 4.3, up 62.8 since July. This is in Hermosa area. Next slide. Oh, okay. We had 4 sold, 26 active, 4 pending. Individual homes. Yeah, surprisingly, 4. So what does that tell you guys? Hermosa.
Low inventory.
Very low inventory, yeah.
Got 26 that are active, and 8 that are still
think-
in contract.
I think there's still,
There's a lot of inventory.
well, what I see is that sellers are not being realistic. They're still holding on to that top number. And this is why we see a lot of activities, active properties on it. Because imagine if it was only 4 sold and there's 4 pending, yeah. Sellers are not being realistic and they're not doing a lot of price reduction. Also be okay, next slide. Now we have Manhattan Beach. Highest home price, 16.2. Okay, 16.2, right on the coastal area right there. Sale price increased 7.2. Your average home was 4.926. Your medium home was 3.9. So up 7.2. Next slide. Little different than Hermosa, right?
Wow.
28 homes sold, 54 active, and 20 pending. Okay. 54.
Yeah, but you've got 48 that are off the market in the last 30 days. So that's still a buyer, that's a
Yeah.
selling market.
But it is 3 times more homes in this area as well.
Yeah, for some reason,
That's true.
Hermosa Beach is generational. They usually, I don't see really that much of a turnover in Hermosa. But when you see something, I mean, it's super high as well. So interesting stats for Manhattan Beach. All right, now, next slide. Now we're going into North Redondo. So the highest home price in North Redondo was 2 million. Your average home price was 1,500,000 to 7. Medium was 1,575, up 0.6.4. This is North Redondo. We had 12 sold, 22 actives, and 18 pending. Okay, 36.8 is the period with 12 solds and 19 in the previous 30 days. Interesting facts. Yeah. Next slide, South Redondo now. Your highest price point was 3.45. Sold on July 1st. Average home price was 2.1. Your medium price point was 1.8. A reduction of 14.7%. It looks like in the Hollywood Riviera areas where the South Redondo homes sold. So interesting facts. Next slide. We had 18 sold, 17 active, and then 5 pending. 20% in period over 18 sold versus the 15 in the previous 30 days. All right, let's go to Torrance now, 90501. Highest price point was $1.3 million. That's sold on July 5th. Average home price was 938,000. Your medium price point was 930, down 19.1. Who services this area? Any of the people here? Right. Yeah. Good information to have. There was 13 sold, 15 active, and 10 pending. Next slide. Now is 502 area code of Torrance. Highest price point was 910, sold on July 6th. Average home price was 828, And your medium price point was $855. A decrease of 5.3. There was 9 homes sold, 6 active, 7 pending. Next slide, 503 now. Your highest price point was 1.850. That sold July 19th. Average price was 1.299. Your medium price point was 1.3, down 4.7. Okay, down 4.7. There was 22 homes sold, 17 active, and 14 pending. 504 now. Your highest price point was $995, sold on July 27th. Average home price. It looks like a big piece of real estate there.
The average home price.
I think combined, Hermosa, Redondo, and Manhattan Beach. The highest price point was in the 504 area code of Torrance. Managed to mention on that one, right? Obviously, guys, it's a typo. Sorry about that. So, medium home price was $950, up 0.5%. Next slide. That's a nice number, 67 million, right? 15 homes sold, 22 active, and 12 pending in the 504 area code. Next slide, please. 90505. This is our area. The highest home price of a single family home was 1.936. Average home was 1.473, and your medium was 1.5, up 1.7. And that sold on this side of PCH. 15 sold, 33 active, and 16 pending. Again, what we saw similar to what we saw in Hermosa and Manhattan, right? Sellers, I think, are still not realistic. They're trying to hold that top numbers there.
Well, look at the pending number. The
Yeah.
pending numbers is what tells the story,
Right.
you know, the current story. You know, every section, there has been a lot of pending activity. That means
Absolutely.
the buyers are out there buying.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. Okay, next slide. Is there another slide or is that all? Okay.
And the average years in home is 16. So call your title rep and get everybody that's been in their house 17 years and up.
The average is anywhere from 10 to 16 years. That's the average.
All of those were 15, 16.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. You want any of these slides for your presentation? Let us know. We'll be more than happy to email those over to you. All right, next slide. Okay, broker updates. Did anyone go to see Golly's class on Saturday from South Bay? Good, awesome. Yeah, good information. Has anyone heard of the form SPRP? Nat, can you full screen that, please?
SFLS.
It's on the upper left. I was gonna say it's right here. Can you blow it up on that? No, right here. Yeah, there you are. All right, how many have seen this form? Okay, we have a handful of you, okay? So the reason I wanted to touch on this form is we've seen some litigations regarding square footage, where the property profile will say it's 2,800. Then the MLS or the appraisal will have a different number, and then the seller says a different number. Well, I've done some improvements, I've added square footage, I added a second bedroom, or whatever the case may be, right? And then we see these discrepancies, right? Nothing aligns, right? And this is where we see litigation happened. Where now the buyer says, well, why am I gonna be paying $375 per square foot on a house that is advertised as 2,800, but in essence, it's really 2,000, right? And that's a problem. That's a problem. So the California Association of Realtors added this form, I believe, in 2017 or 2018, if I remember correctly. It's been revised 2 years ago. They haven't added or modified this in 2 years. Now, the importance of this is clarity, right? To protect you as an agent and also the seller and the buyer for transparency, right? Disclosure, right? And it talks about, what is it trying to accomplish? Well, it's advising that the buyer is defining the source of square footage and the improvements if there's any discrepancies, right? As what it shows on Realist, right? As an example, you can go to the property profile. Even your title companies will send you their title profiles, right? And you'll see different square footage, right? And then you put those together and it's just like, wait a minute. Even I've seen where it's only 50 or even 100 square feet different. Okay, what do you do in those scenarios? How do you put it on the MLS? Because then there's an issue with the MLS as well, right? And it can be a violation. Well, you need to know where the source is coming. Okay, is the source coming from the tax assessors? Is the source coming from an appraisal, or is the source coming from the seller? Okay, and if it's coming from the seller, then we need to have concise understanding of where the seller got this information. You just cannot throw something on the wall and hope it sticks, right? Well, the seller told me this. Or where did the seller get this information? And this is questions you need to be asking as a professional, folks. Okay. Now on this agreement, Nat, if you can roll it up a little bit, slide it down. Okay, right there. Here's my thought and here's my opinion. This is just my opinion on this form. Okay. Leave it blank. Okay. Use this as an advisory than to start adding figures in here. Okay. You all with me on this? What I'm trying to explain here? You can leave it blank and use as an advisory to the consumer, the buyer. Hey, we're disclosing that there may be a discrepancy. It is whose responsibility at the end to do the research and investigation? Buyers. Yeah. Is the seller or the agent representing the seller obligated to go to the city to get any type of permits? No, it is not. Do agents do so? Yeah, sometimes they do, but you shouldn't. So my approach is use this as part of your disclosures, right? When representing a seller, or if you get a form from the listing agent, that the buyer's responsibility is to do their due diligence on the property and make sure that the buyer is completely satisfied with the overall condition and especially square footage. Okay. But it also provides you with loopholes because there's sources of information, public record, multiple listing service, the seller, appraisal 1, appraisal 2, condominium maps, architect drawings, floor plans, whatever you can provide as ammunition for the buyer to make their due diligence, right? And if the seller has any of the above, part of that is giving it to the buyer. So that way the buyer can come back to us and say, you, Mr. Seller, and you listing agent gave me wrong information and now I'm going to sue you. Make sense? It's best to leave it blank. Use this form as more of an advisory. Okay. And if they ask you, yes.
They would sign that form?
Yeah, absolutely. Scroll down. Nat. Go up a little bit, Nat. Sorry, I wish this was the
It's provided.
So you have where the seller signs and where the buyer signs. And it says buyer acknowledges that the buyer has read, understands, and received a copy of this form. Advisory and disclosure. Buyer is encouraged to read it carefully. If no information is provided or any of the accuracy of existence of any of the measurements provided herein, otherwise, if buyer does not do so, buyer is acting against the advice of the broker and agents. Okay, and then what it says for the seller. Seller represents the seller is not aware of any other measurements of the property and acknowledges that the seller has read, understand, and received a copy of the square footage advisory. Seller is encouraged to read it carefully as well. So my opinion, as the broker, is to use it more as an advisory and not fill it. Okay.
So if it's blank, the buyer saw that it was blank and can no longer come back and go, you gave me that information.
100%.
But if you put something on it, then it's gonna be used as a material fact.
Well, yeah. Now, and how do you reflect that if they come back? Well, yeah, you can say, well, this information, and you're gonna give that information to the consumer. This is where I got the information, the profile is an example. The appraisal report that was done, it says right there, 2,200 square feet. So here's the information, but at the end, it's up to the buyer, right? To do their own research, right? And determine, okay, is this gonna be something that I'm going to heart? Or am I okay with it moving forward? Okay, so it's really up to the buyer.
The seller's signing the document, so we shouldn't put anything in there anyway. It's like the TDS.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
This is brilliant.
Yeah,
Is it gonna be part of the checklist?
it should be. I have to double check with,
And then it's not
with,
required.
No, sorry.
we should include it as part of the checklist of items.
Don't should be.
Yeah. More paperwork, right? Well, that's why you have a chief seat, guys. Let the chief seat handle it. I hope Chris is not on the call, if he's gonna have them there. Any questions regarding this form? All right. I know. So was I able to answer your question? Okay. Anyone on Zoom have any questions regarding this form? Okay, cool.
Yes, I do, Simon.
Hi.
Hi. It's
Who's
Lynette. This is
Hey,
Lynette.
How are you?
I'm good. Now, it seems like the seller has to fill some information out because it's saying they're not aware of any other measurements. So they're saying there's some measurements here they should be aware of. So shouldn't they have to put something in there? They're actually the person filling out the form.
Correct. It's a discretion if the seller wants. And my personal opinion on this form, I'd rather have it more as an advisory, and I would educate the client, leave it blank, let the buyer do their own investigations on this. Can you? The answer is yes. It has the blanks to put on there, but then that opens up other avenues of conversation, because let's just say that you do provide, and does most sellers know their square footage of their homes? Well, they don't know. They really don't.
Maybe.
So they always revert back to the agent. And this is the reason I would avoid, adding any type of information on there. So use this more as an advisory and a disclosure for the buyer to be responsible to do what they need to do to satisfy their overall satisfaction on the property.
And you say it's not advisory, buyers are advised to do their own.
You could,
or
but it already says it's an advisory. And based on what the California Association of Realtors and speaking with the legal department as well at CAR, they say, yeah, you can use it as a buyer, you can leave it completely blank. You can just acknowledge that the seller has seen it and acknowledge and sign in the buyer as well. And that should satisfy that requirement. Okay, any questions? Cool.
Thank you, Simon.
My pleasure. Thank you. All right, I think that concludes our team meeting. I think we have one more. Nat? All right, anyone have any listings they like to pitch or any buyer needs they like to talk about? Going once? Going twice?
I got.
Yes,
Simon, I do.
That,
1 second. Go ahead, Steve.
we're gonna be activating tomorrow, in Newport Beach, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, fixer, 4 blocks from the ocean. At 1.6, it's 1,032 square feet on a 2,400 square foot lot. Also the two-car garage, so all dolled up, it'll probably go for a little more than like 2.2 somewhere. Thank you. It's on address is 428 Colton Street in Newport Beach.
Awesome, thank you. Someone else on Zoom?
Yeah, but it's Maeve. I've got one that's incoming soon on the MLS right now. It'll be going live tomorrow. It's in East Hawthorne, gated community, just built in 2006, darling, ready to move in, elegant, 3-bed, 3-bath, single family home, about 1,600 square feet. So it's darling, first open house on Saturday, and we'd love to see some of you there.
Awesome. Are you in town?
No, I'm not. I'm in Portugal, but Lillian and Tish and Patrick will be holding down the fort for me at the open house on Saturday and Sunday.
That's amazing. Talk about leverage, right? That's amazing. Good to see you. All right.
Thank you, you too.
Awesome. All right, team. That concludes our team meeting. Thank you very, very much.